26. Imagine you are the leader of NSS unit in your school. As part of Gandhi Jayanti celebration, the NSS unit has decided to clean the Panchayat office compound. Draft a letter to the Panchayat secretary seeking his permission to clean the compound. Answer. Name, leader of NSS unit, care of GHSS School, Chennai. Date, the secretary, Panchayat office, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Subject, request for cleaning the Panchayat compound. Respected sir, this letter is written in order to seek your permission to clean the compound of the Panchayat office. I am the leader of the NSS unit of my school, and in order to develop a civic sense in the students of the NSS unit, I am seeking this endeavor. By doing this, the student will be able to understand their responsibilities, and along with this, the compound will also be cleaned as part of the Gandhi Jayanti celebrations. Would be extremely grateful to you if you could provide me with the necessary permits required. Thank you. Name, leader of NSS unit. 27. Maggie is working as a typist in the civil service store and earning an insufficient salary. Seeing her pathetic condition, you would like to write a letter to the head of the civil service stores department requesting him to increase her salary. Draft the letter. Answer. Manju, 21 Valley Street, Kurla, Mumbai, 280071, India. 15 January 2023. Arnav Kumar, HR Manager, M&A Ventures, London, England. Subject, request for salary raise. Dear Sir or Madam, I am name and I am requesting this letter to request you to raise Maggie's salary. She has been working in the civil service store for 2 years as a typist. During her tenure, she has been a dedicated employee and has not missed any deadlines. She has always worked on many projects that have been huge success. I believe that a review of her record, her achievements and her commitment to the company will prove the reasons for her salary raise. Her current CTC in the company is 4.5 lakhs. I request you to give her a minimum of 20% increment. She would be highly grateful to the company for this. I hope you consider my request. Sincerely, name, signature, phone number, employee ID 1235. 28. Your school's high school section is organizing a particular motivation class for those students who will attend the arriving SSLC public examination. You are getting a chance to speak on that occasion. Draft the speech to deliver on that occasion. Answer, speech. Taking the bull of examination by horns. Hello my dear students. I am here to talk to you about a very important aspect of the examination. First of all, let me affirm that examinations are the most wonderful things in any human's life. They are the litmus test of our abilities, strength, and self-management. Anyone who is scared of them has already failed. Examination fear is an indicator we didn't utilize our time optimally. It means we kept postponing preparing for the exam. Let me tell you, dear friends, if there were no exams, students would not ever take their studies seriously. The first and foremost thing about exams is never to be scared of them. Each examination is succeeded by preparatory time, which must be utilized optimally. If you do it, you will love to take any exam. The second thing about exams to studies, don't panic. Revise as much as you can with proper breaks. Don't lose heart. Just take the bull of exam by the horn. You are sure to fare well through them. However, the following tips can be helpful during exams. The first and foremost thing is don't panic. Whatever time is left, make the best use of it. If you have a phone, give it to your mother or dad. Don't delay studying. Just start studying. Do study the subject, topics and concepts that you like. The more complex topic can be studied later. Revise by writing notes. Just looking at the questions and answer won't help. Do take frequent short breaks. Say 20 minutes after a spell of 1 hour study. Study alone. If you think you can study better in the company of your friends, it is a wrong belief. Just be strong and study hard. Remember, there are no shortcuts for success. All the best. 29. October 2, Gandhi Jayanti Day is celebrated as the International Day of Nonviolence. Globally, the rate of violence is increasing rapidly. Gandhi's Ahimsa philosophy can reduce the rate of violence. Prepare an essay on Gandhi's Ahimsa, nonviolence philosophy. Answer. Essay. The Power of Nonviolence, Gandhi's Philosophy of Ahimsa. On October 2nd, the international community celebrates Gandhi Jayanti, the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, a man who is widely recognized for his philosophy of nonviolence or ahimsa. In a world where violence and conflict seems to dominate the headlines, Gandhi's message of ahimsa is more relevant than ever. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence was not a passive stance, but a proactive and active resistance to injustice. He believed that true change could only be achieved through nonviolent means, and that violence, whether physical or psychological, only begets more violence. Gandhi's philosophy of ahimsa was practiced during India's independence movement, where he led boycotts, strikes, and nonviolent protest against British rule. His tactics of nonviolence resistance or civil rights and freedom across the globe, including the civil rights movement in the United States. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence has the power to bring about positive change in various issues, from social justice to environmental protection. It serves as a reminder that violence is not the only option and that peaceful means can effectively bring about change. However, Gandhi's message of nonviolence is not without its criticism. Some argue that nonviolent resistance may not be effective in certain situations and that the use of force may be necessary. Others argue that nonviolence can be used as a tool of oppression, with those in power using nonviolent means to maintain their dominance. Despite these criticisms, Gandhi's philosophy of ahimsa remains an important and relevant message in today's world. As the rate of violence continues to increase globally, Gandhi's message serves as a reminder of the power of nonviolence and the potential for positive change through peaceful means. On Gandhi Jayanti, we celebrate the life and legacy of this great leader and his enduring message of nonviolence. May his philosophy inspire individuals and movements worldwide to strive for justice and peace through nonviolent means. 30. Read the poem given below and write a critical appreciation of it. The poem Death by Brandy Young is a look into the various facets and consequences of death and the things that come out of trying to romanticize it. In the first stanza, we see that the poet talks about the idea that death is not temporary and that the mere idea of getting entangled with death means that you will never be able to escape it. The poet also points out the idea that death is painful and no any easy way out. No sharp objects will give someone a pleasurable end. In the second stanza, the poet talks about the effects of death on lovers and how it separates them the same way dishonestly separate love in the real world. In the third stanza, the poet praises death and all that it can do. He talks about how it is cunning and clever and how it does not have a sense of humor. At the same time, the poet talks about the consequence of seeking death through strangers. The fourth stanza talks about death as a being that is never fulfilled and never truly happy. Therefore, if we as the people give into the idea of death, we would get nowhere. The poet also points out that death is random and never fair. There is so much to death that we do not understand. The fifth stanza also talks about how death is evergreen. There is no stopping death. No matter how hard we try, death is all around, and no matter what we do, it is always going to be there when we least expect it. Finally, the poet closes out the poem by telling us that death is forever and there is no point in trying to cross it. We must learn to move past it and not towards it. From the line provided in the poem, it is certain that the poet does not want us to feel a sense of fear, but at the same time does not want us to romanticize the idea of death, as it is not something you should look forward to. The poet does have a sense of security, which they use as a means of stop suicidal ideation.